This might be the most fun that I've had watching my kids play a game. And it is an incredibly creative implementation and a unique implementation, in my experience, of the look at a picture and solve a mystery type of game. I'm Daniel, you're watching Play the Game HQ, and this is Flashback, a Zombie Kids game. It's published by Scorpion Mask. It was sent to us by Hachette for review. And in this game, you are trying to stop the zombies from taking over and possibly destroying the world. And you're going to be doing that by looking through pictures. Now, unlike other look at a picture and solve a mystery games where you're looking at a scene and trying to figure out what happened, there's plenty of those games out there and they're a lot of fun. I like those games. But this game, essentially, the kids in the game have come across a machine that lets them look back at a moment in time. So all of these cards are snapshots of a moment, a single moment in time, and you are looking at the cards and going through individual people's perspectives in order to see what they're seeing in that single moment in time. It is a really creative, unique way to kind of change up, because we've done like escape room in a box games. We've done those kind of crime mystery games where you are looking at a crime scene. You're looking at something that happened and trying to get clues from it. This is a little different because you are moving through different people's perspectives and seeing one single snapshot, one single moment in time by doing that. So here's how this works. You have a card like this. And on this card, you're going to see a bunch of numbers. Those numbers correspond to other cards in the deck. But if you notice, those numbers are all pointing to, as you go through the deck, either someone's eyes or a camera or something like that, something that can capture an image. So if you look at these numbers, if you take that number card, you are looking at that card that you take is going to be the perspective of that person or that camera that number corresponds to. So we have card number 1 here. We have a 2 right there. If we take card number 2, we are now seeing the world, seeing this moment in time from this kid's perspective right here. He's looking down the slide, seeing a clown or zombie, something with a big water bottle in its face. If we look at number 5, this card is going to show us this person's perspective from this moment in time. And we have number 1 over here. So this original snapshot is what this person is seeing. Again, this is all a single moment in time. So we're going to not give away too many spoilers about the mystery because you're going to want to do that and figure those things out as you play the game. But during the game, you're going to be jumping through these different people's perspectives. And it's not just one room or one scene. Right now, they're on some sort of playground. It's not just that. You're going to be jumping through different people's perspectives, and you may say, okay, I see that person over there on the top of the fort. Let's go see what they're looking at. Okay, they're looking down over here and looking at somebody behind the fence. Let's see what that person behind the fence sees. Okay, well, they're looking at up in a building, and now you're in a building because they could see a camera. So now we can see what that camera sees and what that person, so on. And you're working your way through this scene and you're gathering clues. So it may ask you a question to why does such and such do such and such, and you like. And as for the clues, as for what you're actually trying to do, you're trying to solve different questions or answer different questions you'll be presented throughout the game. You will see on these cards a number with a question mark. For example, this is question number 2. You would be presented with question number 2 on a card in the game. You would draw this card and it would ask you, why is there no water coming out of the hose? So you're going to be looking for a water hose, trying to figure out that answer. So you're going to want to see as you go through this, okay, I see a water hose in this picture. Which person would have a better perspective on where that water hose starts? Because I can only see the end of it from this one. So let's see who would have a better point of view, a better vantage point on that water hose. And as you go through these things, as you gather clues, you're going to start to piece together the picture of what the zombies are trying to do, what their plan is, so that you can foil their plan. That is the core of the game, is going through these pictures and trying to solve those mysteries. Now, there are 3 sets of core mysteries in the game, or 3 memories that you're going to be exploring to stop their plan. But once you solve those, there are additional mysteries in the book. It's going to go back to those same scenes and ask you different questions. I believe there are at least 3 more of those additional scenes. So there's 6 total. It took the kids, the first game we played was Peyton and I. We played through the first memory, and then Allison and Jared went through and replayed that first memory so we could play memories 2 and 3 together as a family. And what happened when we tried to play as a family is Jared and Peyton took over, and Allison and I just sat back and watched them have so much fun tearing through these cards, looking at different things, trying to kind of bouncing ideas off of each other of what this plan was, as they could see the clues falling into place and this plan unfolded. It was just a lot of fun. It was very satisfying as a parent to sit back and just watch them figure it out. Now, there's one other kind of card that you're going to come across in this game, and that is a card that is going to have a little clock on it. So you're going to have, this is card 21. This is going to show a moment in time, and then you have 21 with a little clock on it. This is that same moment at a previous point in time. So that's another really cool element, is you have most of it is just a single moment in time, but then you have flashbacks to even farther points back, and you're going to be able to see what has changed, or see maybe someone was there before and now they're over here. So what were they doing in this room and now they're in this? Like, again, it's all these little mysteries and all these little clues that you can use to solve those mysteries. And it was such an enjoyable game. Peyton is 9, Jared is 13. It's really accessible. Obviously, there's text on the cards like this, but you're not reading stuff to figure out clues. You're being given questions, but that's where the reading dependency in the game comes, is through the questions, not on the clues. The clues are all just looking at pictures and figuring out what's going on. Now, as you go through the game, you're going to be given opportunities to unlock tools that will help you. I'm not going to open any of these because I want you to experience those. But there are 3 envelopes with 3 different cool tools. They're going to allow you to see things differently. There's a little cipher key kind of thing that's going to point out some clues that you may have missed that will help you unlock other clues. But that is this is the whole game right here. And it's one of those games that when you're done, there's nothing destructive about it. You're not destroying cards as you go through the game. You're not modifying anything. So as soon as you're done, you're able to pass this along to someone else. I love that about escape room games and about mystery games like this, is once you have exhausted all of the game that there is for yourself or for your family, you can pack it up and pass it along to someone else, share that joy, share that fun with another family, with friends. I really do like games that give you that ability, just because this was so much fun to watch the kids play. And I want other parents to experience that too. I want other kids to experience that joy that Jared and Peyton had. Now, as you play through, you're going to be going through this. This whole deck is mystery number 1 or memory number 1. And as you play, you're going to experience one of 2 possible outcomes. Either you're going to do what I tried to do, which was to keep all of these. Okay, there's card 1, there's card 2, there's card 3, and we're going to keep these nice and orderly so that when we have something that jumps back to another card, when we unlock a perspective that looks at something else, we can go back to those. Or you're going to have the experience that we had with Jared and Peyton, which is just all of these cards in a mess on the table, and they are just shuffling through wildly, trying to go back and say, okay, where's card 5? We needed card 5. And that was a lot of fun. Again, it wasn't organized. It was a much less efficient way to go through it, but they were just having so much fun with it. They were at the table digging through cards. It was fun to watch them piece together and say, okay, here's this person. He's wearing, he's got this on his head. I think I saw this over here in another memory or in a flashback. This was over here. Or even hey, there was a shoe in the bottom corner of this picture in a flashback, so now we can see that shoe in the main memory. So this person was here. What were they doing? It was just to listen to their creative or their deduction process was very, very satisfying. So that's the game. You're going to go through 3 memories. You're going to go through additional kind of mysteries after you solve those 3. It's got questions on the back of the rule book that you're going to have to answer. There's 5 or 6 questions in each mystery that you're going to be trying to solve, and they're not just observation mysteries. They're not just who was wearing the purple hat. It's what was their plan and what were they trying to do? So you're not just trying to look at things and make an observation. You are really having to think critically. You are having to think through and kind of make assumptions, really figure out what's going on based on what you're seeing. It was a very satisfying game to play, super accessible. Again, it is a Zombie Kids game. It is the first Zombie Kids game that we've ever played. You don't have to have any experience with that Zombie Kids world or any of the other Zombie Kids game in order to play it. It was a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. Even if you're just going to sit back and watch your kids play it, I highly recommend it as just it's 2.5, 3 hours of fun, maybe a little bit more. I think they probably took about 30 to 45 minutes per session to play. And then you have those other ones that took about 30 minutes. So all in all, maybe 4 or 5 hours to go through the whole game. And then you can box it up. You can pass it on to someone else. You can share that fun with another family. Again, this is Flashback. It is a Zombie Kids game from Scorpion Mask. It was sent to us by Hachette for our review. We'll leave links below to where you can find this game. If you have any questions, please leave me a message and I will do my best to answer it. Till next time, we'll see you later. Bye.